one when I was making breakfast.
Phrase.
Thou shalt not.
Phrase.
This is the black power box.
I never heard of that move in golf.
Kind of like.
It's great. You gotta just send the ball.
The hole's that
This
way.
mini golf.
The hole's that way. Like, just. Oh, that's fine. What?
Fine.
Phrase.
Phrase.
Jesus Christ is a superstar. I already know. Because I'm him.
Jesus Christ is a superstar.
Yeah. Have you heard of YouTube?
Ain't nobody better than DMX.
DMX?
I fell off the planet.
Haven't heard
I'm
of
still
him.
here.
I want to hear Bono.
I'm still here.
That's me.
You want to know something?
Phrase.
I said that. It's a tiny paper. I believe in a thing called love and fireworks.
We can have that tonight, but after the 18th hole.
Oh.
I'm in. All right, brother. Let's get it. Let's get it. I'm good.
I don't know, Steve, you just that was perfect.
I know.
I need to get your autograph before you go.
You want my autograph?
No, not yours. All right. Next one. Next one is a little one that we've never tried before, but we've always kind of wanted to. You know those friends that just can't really let things go. This next skit is called "If You Know What I Mean." So we need, I think, Grant, Kat, and Jimmy.
Good job,
Now,
guys.
before I let you know what a skit called "If You Know What I Mean" is all about, can I get some kind of topic like cake icing or something along those lines? Anything.
All sweat.
Won't work. It has to be something
Say again?
non-sexual.
Boss sweat.
Non-sexual, it makes it better.
Chevy trucks.
I like Chevy trucks.
Green bean.
Are you going Chevy trucks? Are you going trucks?
Alright, so the one part about this. You know, I'm just gonna let it happen. Let's just see what happens. Fuck it.
Hey Jimmy, so I really want to rev your sister's engine if you know what I mean.
Well, she said it's okay. I mean, I did get the new F-150. It's the best in town.
Well, I mean, we could always pump the brakes later if you know what I mean.
No, I don't know what you mean.
What she means is she wants to truck you, if you know what I mean.
You want to drive a truck? Oh! Okay.
I want to drive your sister's truck if you know what I mean.
My sister doesn't have a truck.
Get one.
She's just trucking along, if you know what I mean.
I can give her a ride in the back of my cab if you know what I mean.
She's got a truck bed, if you know what I mean.
All right, so the new truck. It's the F-150, crystal blue quality. I've never seen something so beautiful. I'm really glad you guys came out to really see it because it's my pride and joy.
Can I put your sister in the bed of the truck if you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, if she wants to ride it.
Can I put you in the bed of the truck, if you know what
Sure, yeah.
I heard your sister really likes all that horsepower, if you know what I mean.
She does spend a lot of time in the States.
I mean? Because she's been horsing around, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'm so glad I have friends like you. I know you guys think I'm kind of weird, and I don't have very many friends.
Yeah.
Well, I might not be hung like a horse, but I do have a nice set of truck nuts. They hang low, if you know what I mean. Let's get on this truck and get on the road. You know what I mean?
My truck is over there.
That's where we need to be going, if you know what I mean.
I have no idea.
I just wanted to go for a ride with your sister. You know, in the truck.
Well, I'll tell Betsy as soon as I can that she wanted to spend some time with you. So, you know, I know you two are really close, and she does seem kind of like a lesbian.
I mean, I really want to take her off-roading, if you know what I mean.
No.
No. I don't know what you mean.
Truck this, if you know what I mean.
Well, that was an interesting experience.
Good.
And so will the next one, I believe. Our next one is a really little stand-up. He's been doing this for a little while. Mark, how long have you been doing stand-up?
As long as the club's been around, so almost 3 years.
Next up is Mark Kaufman. He's a professor here, so everything he says is going to be correct. So, please do enjoy it in all your splendor.
Thank you.
Speak good English.
I'm very proud of you.
Very proud of you. Continuing with that, huh? Alright, I'll get you later. Alright. Hello.
Hello.
You can hear me. So, I've just been thinking about back in my childhood, and I realized, you know, adults and children can get pizza delivered to them in a car for $10 to $20, and adults and children can also get ice cream delivered to them for $2 to $40 from an ice cream truck, but only children can get candy delivered to them for free as long as it's in a windowless van. Yeah, I have been doing this comedy for a few years now, and the sad thing about that is when life changes, you can't really use the same jokes as you did before. Many of you know I used to be married, and so I can't really use those jokes, which is kind of a shame because I like those jokes. You know, for example, you know, this is a joke I can't really tell anymore because it no longer applies. The joke was, how many people here have a smartphone or a tablet? Right? And so, yeah, I love my iPad. Like, other than my wife, it's the best thing I own. You know, so I can't really use that joke anymore. And it's not that, you know, I have a girlfriend. Right? I have a girlfriend now, and, you know, I guess it doesn't really make sense to say you own the person, but also since she's of the darker persuasion, I think that would not go over very well. That's an entirely different connotation to say that I own somebody. I'm getting tenure soon, I don't give much of a fuck.
Yeah, tenure.
I might just streak at this year's graduation.
Yeah!
So I do live here in Joliet, and when I was looking at places, my realtor was like, hey, let's get you a nice starter home, and that just got me thinking, starter home, are there any finisher homes? And I guess that's what condos in Florida are. But, what? They're just waiting for death by the pool, waiting for death by the, you know, I mean, you see the people sitting there. I've been to a condo in Florida. I have a friend, you know, I went to college there, and there are all these old people sitting in the retirement home, and they're sitting in the hot tub, and they're just waiting for death. And I almost wanted to like slice some onions and carrots up and put it in there. You know, get them right on the way, roast them. But you can't really lie to the cops here in Joliet. They're tough. You know, I tried talking my way out of a ticket. You know, and the cop said, hey, you know you ran that red light? I was like, well, officer, it was yellow turning red, and there was no way I could have slowed down at 95 miles an hour.
Oh dear.
Yep. So if you haven't noticed, I went completely bald. I don't know if you can tell, but I did. And that kind of sucked, but the cool thing is now all of my stick figures are self-portraits. Yep. But I don't really plan to have any kids. I may or may not, but I'm half Puerto Rican, and I know enough crazy Puerto Ricans to know that I wouldn't want to have a kid with a Puerto Rican. So I guess if I had a kid, they'd be Puerto Rican. Not that it really matters though, because based on my experience growing up, everyone's just gonna fucking call them Mexican anyway. If I did have a kid, I would just want to name them X. X. That's it. So when they look at maps at malls, they'll know exactly where they are. And if they follow my footsteps and become a professor, that'd be pretty cool too. Yep. But I don't want to have a kid. If you ever see me in my car and it says, you have the bumper sticker that says baby on board, right next to me another one that says shit happens. Figuratively and literally. I saw another car that had a bumper sticker that said dog mom on it. I'm like, look at that. That one was a self-proclaimed bitch right there. I do love my dog. I have a dog. She's awesome, but she's really, really aggressive when I take out a tennis ball. She reacts so violently when I bring out a yellow fuzzy ball. I can't have Asian men over at my house. I did realize though that you have to take responsibility. If you don't want to have a kid, you have to take responsibility for the birth control, right? Because condoms are 98% effective, birth control pills are 99% effective, but the only way to 100% have birth control is to wear socks with your sandals. Or, if that doesn't work, you can wear a calculator watch. That would 100% prevent any pregnancy. But I don't want to have any kids, and my grandmother, everyone in my family was cool with it, but my grandmother really didn't get it. So I was with my girlfriend at Thanksgiving, and my grandmother decided to bring it up when everyone's there at the table. And she said, "Mark, I don't understand, why wouldn't you want to have kids?" And I grabbed my girlfriend's hand, I looked my grandmother straight in the eye, and I told her the truth. It's because we prefer to only have anal sex. That's another one of those jokes I wrote in the previous relationship, but you just tweak it a little bit and you make it correct. So, they always say that sexuality isn't a choice, and I used to believe that until I met a friend of mine who had a Star Trek tattoo right on his chest of the Star Trek insignia, and I was like, he is very clearly choosing to never have sex with a woman. That is a choice. I am concerned about getting into because I was in a marriage that wasn't so good, and I don't want to make that happen again, because I saw this couple at a buffet at a Golden Corral, and it was just an old couple, and the guy was piling macaroni and stuff on his plate, and she was like, "Honey, don't you think you've had enough?" And he just didn't listen, kept piling the food on. And she said, "I'm serious, if you keep eating like that, it's going to cut into the years that we have together. Why would you want to eat like that?" And he just looked at her and said, "I guess you just answered your own question." That joke, I felt bad about myself when I wrote that. I was like, I didn't realize what a cynical bastard I was and then that joke came out. Because that didn't really happen, by the way. That was just that was creative, and I had to sit in the corner and think about what I had done when I wrote that joke. Personally, I felt bad about it. Okay, but I asked my grandparents, "How do you find a good woman? What's a good way to get into a good relationship? You guys have been married a long time." And they held each other's hand, they smiled, and they said, "Mark, just go out and volunteer in your community. If you go out and volunteer, you're going to find other volunteers. Their hearts are going to be in the right place. They're the best people you can imagine." And I thought that was amazing advice. So I went out, I volunteered, I cleaned up trails, I helped in old folks' homes, I did all the community service that I could think of. And it was amazing because every single woman that I met had a parole officer. Another fairly bitter joke. But I do have to thank my grandparents, because that did lead to a lot of conjugal visits.
They were always chaperoned too.
How are we doing for time? How are we doing for time, Jim?
Oh, you're good.
Okay, keep going. Just a minor question. Do deaf people always perceive Italians as yelling all the time? I wonder if Jesus kept a calendar, like a planner. Oh, there's a hush in the room. I wonder if Jesus kept a calendar. If you have a problem with it, just strike me down right now. It's cool. But did he keep a personal planner? And if he was who he said he was, and if he said what they say he said, he must have known what was going to be happening when he was going to be crucified. But I seriously doubt he had that marked in his calendar as Good Friday. Maybe Ouch Friday, or Shit, or Take One for the Team Friday. But I don't think it was called Good Friday in Jesus' personal calendar.
Yeah, big old nails on the wall.
Yep.
By my faith.
I have a little advice for you. If you're ever in a situation where you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't, just don't. Then at least you don't have to do anything.
There you go.
Yep. So it's fun teaching here, and it's interesting to see what you see. And the naive students are what make me laugh the most, or just, they don't really know what's going on. I was handing out a syllabus the very first day of class and just talking through it, and here's the expectations of class. And I saw a kid, even that first day, just a few minutes in, on a smartphone. And I thought, what could he possibly be doing that's so much more important than the first day of class? I look over that, and he's on his phone on OkCupid. And what he was doing was changing his status, educational status, to some college on the first day of college. He never showed up in class after that, but I think the profile stayed the same. So,
College dropout.
yeah. People ask me, does it bother me when students use internet slang in their essays? And it doesn't bother me, but you have to let the students know they can't do that. So if they ever write LOL in their essay, I just write LOL on the top of the sheet, right next to the big F. This is how I feel my students. If they deserve it, or if I want them to remain in the club. So, I remember when I was in college, I was always the kind of student that would sit kind of near the front, off to the side. I know some people are more comfortable with the middle or the back or whatever, and that's all cool. But the only problem I have is when I see my young African American students sitting in the back, because I'm from Detroit, and I know that people spent a decade basically so they wouldn't have to sit in the back. So it always bothers me to see them do that. Well, that one died. That's all right.
Because history.
I said I'm from Detroit, so don't mess with me. But I know it's tough for college students. I'm not trying to mock or anything. I know it's tough to be in college. When I was in college, I had a personal tragedy. My own grandmother died 6 times. It was really a shame, but it got me out of a lot of class. But there was a wine tasting class when I was at Florida State that you could take if you were 21 and above, and that was cool. And I never enjoyed studying ever so much as when I took wine tasting. Every night I was studying. But it was interesting on the day of the final, because I was all prepared. It was interesting to see the people who had tried to cram the night before. They're stumbling in, they're throwing up on the exam. That was pretty memorable to me. I did go to Florida State University. Their mascot are the Seminoles. And our biggest rival was the University of Florida, the Gators. Well, it always bothered me when I would see students on campus drinking Gatorade, because that was created by scientists at the University of Florida. That's why they call it Gatorade, right? So I decided to make my own Florida State themed drink, and I called it Seminole Fluid. Now, not too many guys were into it, except a lot of them in the theater program. But it was the sororities that kept us afloat. But then I realized, what happens at the end of every championship game? What do they do with the coach? They dump the Gatorade on them. Why not dump Seminole Fluid on them? And I got a huge account from Penn State University. That was awesome. That's what I got, everybody. Thank you very much. I'm
Next up is another new face that we actually haven't seen up here, at least. First time. Andrew, would you like to come up? You've probably seen the guy in a few improvs here and there, but very exciting and very
Wow. So
Go war.
So you heard, my name is Andrew. But around campus, I go by War.
why?
Absolutely. Baby.
What is it good for? Absolutely nothing.
Is that why that's your name?
Oh, that's terrible.
Yes.
They're good for hugs.
It's also good for the music that he has in his car.
Oh yes, you like the Gorgon. My early life was mostly just a lot of sports, wrestling, football. I did, but I never had a problem with football. But I always had a confrontation with wrestling. Like did wrestling from 6th through 9th grade. But throughout that time, everyone was like, "Oh, wrestling, you're gay or something." I was like, I never really understood why they always come up to me like, "Oh, you're gay or something." But I finally understood why when I went to practice one day and the coach came out with our new uniforms. Unfortunately, they were assless chaps. And I was like, okay, now I get it.
Hey, but it's fan next.
Speaking of gay, I had my my gay friend over the other day. I don't think I'm going to have him over again. No, boo! I really took offense to it because later that night, I caught him breaking in. Like, to redecorate. I'm like, I had good taste. I was like, I have this, the feng shui of the room. But no, he thought otherwise. I caught him change my curtains. I was like, come on, dude. Let me see. My buddies and I talk a lot about stuff and everything. Well, thank you for the interruption, sir. With that nice phone ring. Oh, no, shit.
That
That guy in the back. But we had discussions about like sexuality, gay, straight, bi, whatever. It doesn't really matter to me. The thing I get about with homophobic people, I don't really understand how you can be afraid of gay people. But some of them I met, they're very gritty, you know. No, I mean like, I can see how people might be, like he brought a good point. He's like, I can only see how people can be very homophobic if like their brother was killed and eaten by Jeffrey Dahmer. I'm like, yeah, you could have a point there and all that. That's the only reason I can see it. And I was like, you have the right to be. I mean, like, I'm sorry about your brother. I think you earned that right to be a little afraid.
Was Jeffrey gay?
Jeffrey Dahmer was gay.
Yes.
Yes. Jeffrey Dahmer was
If
gay.
you don't know, let's have a look.
That explains it. That explains it.
Yes, he was a gay serial killer.
Joke in the
Like
toilet.
dressing the clown.
Yes.
Let's talk about that first.
Okay, I was on Revelations a bit. I don't really read the Bible, but like I'm fascinated with Revelation. And then, I was just fascinated with the coming of Jesus, like coming back of Jesus. I was like, I wonder in this time, like, if he would like come out and like party with us, it would be very interesting. It would actually kind of be horrible, in my sense, because like no, I mean like that's Jesus. Okay, that. Not very enthusiastic. All right.
Jesus. Don't
Jesus. He's Mexican. No. But like it would be really suck to party with him because like I'm usually a designated driver. I don't really drink at parties or anything. So I'd be like chilling there and be like, hey, what's up, Jesus? Take a sip of my drink. Fuck, it's wine, Jesus. God damn it, Jesus.
God damn it, Jesus.
I'm trying to be designated driver. You're turning my water into wine. Like, He's like, hey, stay cool, man. I think you'd be hipster nowadays. Short hipster.
Jesus, dude.
Well, let's see. With my, I'm thinking about, like life in general. If, like, later on, if I want a family, kids and stuff, I was like, I don't know if I really want to. If I do, I'll probably maybe adopt.
Okay.
But if I adopt, I would kind of want maybe a receipt.
You mean you return me?
Yeah, I mean, like,
I was
the
adopted.
kid might be cool, but like, you want to have that little safety factor because like, if the kid, like, you can return them and be like, yo, this kid just fucked up my house. Can I get a new one?
Just give me medication every day, it'll be fine.
I think that would be interesting. I think there should be like a 30-day return policy. Just try out the kid, like new cars.
Right.
Test drive.
Just try to test drive.
With life, I'm thinking about like beyond two kids. I'm thinking about like I would be old. I'd say if I was ever put in a retirement home, I think it would be fun to make like try to break out of that. Like it would be my great scheme to like just break out of the retirement home. Like how funny would that be to hear on the news? Well, in today's news, senior citizens today escaped a local retirement home, kidnapping one, and
They put those prison ankle bracelets
Does it
on
really?
them, so that if you try to leave, the alarm goes off.
That's house arrest.
It makes driving safer.
Wait, we're treating
Make
all
sure-
people like prisoners now.
Yeah. Also,
Apparently so.
And they're paying to have.
But like I would make it my I'm making my dream to break out of there. I think that would be a great life thing, like. Like you like different people are gonna be in there with different traits and everything. It's like, you know, the little bus they take the old people around in. You find like the old like senile mechanic, and you trade your pudding with him. Like, yo dude, we're gonna get out of this. I need you to hotwire the bus.
Passing notes with pudding.
Yeah. You trade your puddings, prison rules. Retarded.
He hides it in his ditches.
So, alright. I got one more joke. Cut out the last one.
Sorry. The world needed to know.
Yeah, I think I covered everything. But no, relationships though, we go back to that. My girlfriend's always like, like, are we ever gonna be together? How, like, do you think this will last and everything? I go, look, honey. Love is forever with formaldehyde. Speaking of girlfriends, I'd like to introduce you to Jill. Yes?
And Sean.
Sometimes this one, and Jill's tired. Jack.
Yeah.
I won't play that way.
Experiment.
Alright, man. Well, thank you for your time. Hope you had a good time.
Good. All right, you got my mic. What am I doing next? Oh, that one's kind of fun.
Is it actual scenes from a hat this
That
time?
one is, because I messed up before, yeah, so it's actually scenes from a hat. Woohoo! What is this on? There it is, mute. Scenes from a hat, obviously a little bit differently. I messed it up a little earlier. Scenes from a hat, we're going to give these guys a, what's the word, a topic. And in that topic, like world's worst blank, or things you don't say to blank. And these improvers will come up with some kind of idea, but you don't want to see at these things. So if we get the improvers up on the stage, and I'll start calling stuff out. Yeah, everyone that wants to be in this one can be in this one.
Yeah, he won't yell this time.
Anybody.
Sorry, Daddy.
You can go up there if you
So much harder
want.
for me to break out.
And anyone back there too, I don't care.
Oh, come on. It's
Oh,
fine.
get around it. I'll like
Yes, go.
Come on, Steve.
Steve, you be good at this one.
You do good improv.
Yeah.
Still in Catholic.
All right, guys, y'all got your attention?
Just everybody come up and do the damn thing.
There we go.
This is gonna be funny.
Oh, this is gonna be good. All right, so first one, world's worst babysitter.
Hi, I'm Jimmy. This is DeAndre.
Hi.
I work with kids.
You see, tell me to bend over so you can check my pulse.
Was this ADHD meds or Down meds?
All right.
Alright, so I got your kid here. Now you just lay down. And all I do is I just sit on it, right? Are you sitting?
Yes.
It's not going nowhere.
Right. I said world's worst babysitter.
Where's the pillow?
I was just released from prison for child abuse, but it's cool. It's cool. My parole officer said I can work with children again. It's great.
I want her problems.
Did I mix up the antifreeze with the blueberry?
I'm kind of on a couple of websites. You know me in a couple of names, but I swear there's my past references and my past personalities too. So please, I'm gonna say it. Yeah, man. I can watch your kids for you. Yeah, a couple dollars an hour. Yeah, but make sure the baby gets the holla. You know what I'm saying? hey, but I make sure that he is down. I give him a little weed. We'll be good. He'll sleep. Get his nap time.
Hey kids, where's the keys to the liquor cabinet? Free candies? Swiggy swag, what's in the bag?
Hey kids, who wants to learn about epilepsy? I got it.
Alright, like ready.
So, your kid's 17, right? That's the legal consenting age.
World's worst place to find a date.
Please.
Porta potties?